Forever a queen, pure black and ever so clean. When shit get hot, you help me watch for what these devils could bring. Responsible nightmares and having federal dreams, and being grounded can bring you closer to heavenly things. I learned from you.
Yo, what's going on, world? This is your boy Najee from rapradar.com.
Yes.
And today I got a special guest. Now, seated on my left, this is one of the most, I like bars right here, man. We talking one of the most complicated wordsmiths in the game, man. He's got these bars. He's got a new project out. I got my man, Mr. Nick Grant.
How you doing, man?
What's going on,
thank
brother?
you for having me, brother. I appreciate you.
Nah, thank you for pulling up, man. How does it feel, man?
It feels amazing, man. You know, people want to listen. People actually care, so it's dope. You know, just to be able to move around and tell my story.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the Dreamin Out Loud project finally.
Dreamin Out Loud project out right now, man.
It feels like a long time coming, brother. Like
it
I
does.
seen a couple pushbacks a little bit here. Now we here. Like, how does it feel?
For good reason, though. And you know, in the moment, you always frustrated. You know, but you know, God has a bigger plan. I just felt like it was all timing. You know, timing, and you know, the music opened the doors for like certain opportunities. So to be able to put it out right now is like a blessing. You know, it makes you appreciate it even more because you at a point where you don't even know what's gonna happen with the music. So to be able to get it out is like, you know, blessing.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, like I said, I was telling you off camera that I'm able to hear a lot of the growth just, you know, in the music and in you as a man and as an artist.
For sure, absolutely.
Right, you know, kind of coming from, you know, 88 to now, it's such a large jump. What would you say, I guess, is, you know, just the biggest form of growth, I guess, that you experienced just kind of creating this project?
I think I kind of misled myself for like so long, you know what I'm saying? Like the first two projects was just kind of showing people that I was an MC and I was capable of like saying the most amazing thing. So like this last one is like, you know, me doing a little more studying. It's like, all right, it's not always just about this. You could say the simplest thing and connect with somebody and, you know, make them feel like, oh man, he understands, he gets me. So this project was just like, I got a story that I should tell, even though it's a lot of stuff, it's a lot of deep stuff that I'm embarrassed to like share, but that's what made Tupac great. That's what made Biggie great. That's what made Nas, Jay-Z great, all these great people. So, you know, if I'm fighting to be in that and I don't give people that, then where would I end up? You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was tapping into that, saying things that would connect and resonate with a certain audience, and that's just where I was at that time. And you know, it was just a lot going on and being frustrated with a lot of things. So along with just knowing that and being, you know, mindful of that, I was frustrated. You know, I was frustrated, and that kind of was like the therapy.
Was it,
you know?
Were you frustrated like circumstance-wise, or like frustrated just politics in the business?
Just because I didn't really want to talk about that. You know, I'm like such a reserved person. I'm like naturally just in my zone, but sometimes that get in my own way because I might have something else that can help somebody else get to where they're going. You know, just based on my experiences. So yeah, but just a lot of the musical politics too. It gets in the way sometime, and it kind of frustrates me. But you know, you can't get frustrated and just get caught up. You know, in your feelings, and it's only hurting you. So you know.
All right. Well, we definitely got to dive into the album a little bit.
For sure. Let's do it.
Dive into it. But first, I just want to know. So, like you said, is you know, you being a wordsmith and kind of figuring out these bars, and you know, you're from South Carolina, right? Like,
absolutely.
Outside, like, you know, there's a few guys that's coming with the lyrics, but when you think, you know, Southern rap, you're not, you know, sonically, it doesn't really, I guess, remind you of what it is that you sound like.
My Southern rap was a little different. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that I paid attention to was like Outkast, Brad Jordan, Scarface, UGK, Master P and his Business Mind, and you know, just my balance was just different. But you know, being from South Carolina, we didn't have any artists that we like valued and loved because, you know, we didn't really have like a hip hop scene or hip hop culture. So influences were just pouring from like different regions, the South, you know, Atlanta, Texas, Florida, West Coast. Like Snoop was like one of the very first people that made me, you know, want to be an artist. You know what I'm saying? He made it just look so cool. Biggie was the person that made me really take it serious. East Coast rap, I was heavily influenced by that. That was like leading the charge at that point. You know, so Nas was like down the hall, in my brother's room. He's like 10 years older than me. So imagine a 6-year-old listening to like Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I was just schooled by some of the greatest people just through everyday life. I didn't know what I was listening to, but you know, I kind of gravitated toward it. But I would go to like my grandfather's house. It would be Joe Sample, Sam Cooke. You know, all these people just being played. So it was just a mixture of different, you know, artists, different cultures just around me. It just surrounded me, and I was like, you know, kind of had to just set myself free and live through the music. So yeah.
I know that. So now we're in, you know, an era where 2018 we're filled with controversy and everyone's doing everything to kind of get clout, and the appearances look crazy. There's face tats, and then we got Nick Grant, you know, is the clean cut guy. You know, you kind of focusing on just the music without any of the antics. How do you feel like that kind of? How do you feel about that? Just in this era, you know.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I think that's my advantage, though. You know what I'm saying? You got people that want to be entertained, and you got people that like, where's the real music? So, based on, this is what hip hop is based on. You know, real life experiences, us using our voice to talk about what was going on in our neighborhoods, what was going on in our lives. There's people that still value that and still look for that. So, you know, I'm just the alternative for all of the stuff that's going on right now, you know, and I feel like, you know, it makes me look better in a sense, so keep doing it.
Now, do you ever feel like, you know, in trying to kind of capture that mainstream, like, you know, because there's always like people trying to pressure you to like, yo,
for sure,
you know, do songs like this, or maybe you need, I mean, get a little South Carolina tat on your face, or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Do you ever feel that kind of pressure to conform to the styles of what's going on?
Not really. I just know who I am. You know, I get it sometimes. I get it a lot. Like, yo, you should do this. You should be more like this. But you know, I am who I am. Like, I've been working on me and my character I'm almost 30 years old. So I'll be 30 soon. So you know, exactly. Okay. So I'm like stuck in my ways. Like, it's kind of hard to get out of that. You know, and I feel like I come from like a strong group of people that, you know, embedded these genuine, authentic things in me. So it's kind of hard to change that. You know, I'm willing to do a whole lot more to get me to the next level, but not if it comes with compromising who I am as a person. You know, so
how do you feel about mumble raps? I know you had a line that was like, you know, I ain't talking about back to my mama, I don't got a mumble.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you fuck with it? Is it just like,
listen,
I don't really...
so my whole take on it, like when I came in, you know, I kind of had this understanding, like, people only like what I like, so I'm gonna rap the way I want to rap, because people are gonna like this regardless. I didn't know I was fighting a battle of just people like, oh, that's played out, that's dated. That's people crazy, really believe that. That's crazy to me. So, so just not knowing I'm fighting this battle, it's like a rude awakening. It's like, all right, you gotta use different tactics to catch people, and then you can do whatever you want to do. You know, but you know, right now you can't be selfish. It's all about, at the end of the day, it's a business. So you gotta make people understand what you're trying to do before they can see what you really do. You know, so for me, it's just, it's definitely different. A lot of people respond to, you know, the circus, as we like to call it, but. You know, but like, once again, it just makes me look better, man. Like, it makes people like, all right, if you're tired of that, come get some of the soul food, you know?
All right, so let's get into this soul food. I'm about to get the mac and cheese and yams right
But
now.
I love what everybody's doing. You know what I'm saying? I love what everybody's doing. You know, I used to come down hard on them, but at the same time, it's like, I get it. I don't want to hear me in the club. You know, I don't want to hear me in the club, so you know, I appreciate that.
That's like the Nas. I feel like I heard Nas.
Yeah, like I don't, you know. So for me, I just don't want to hear that like different places. I'm just saying too much stuff that you really have to sit down and take in. When you leave the club, put me in and you know, drive home and school me. But yeah, it's like they might not even be speaking to me. You know what I'm saying? They might not be speaking to me. It might not be for me. So just like what I'm saying might not be for them. So yeah.
I feel it.
Absolutely.
All right, straight, we're gonna set this. All right, let me know. Good? Good for that? All right. Straight? All right, so yeah, let's get into this album now, man. We got, first things first, man, this 96 Bulls. You out here flexing, boy. You out here flexing with that one.
You got to.
I like that. What was that like? Was that just like one of those, you know, lyrical exercises? Let me get off and just.
Yeah, that's definitely. It just I was influenced by my childhood, obviously. '96 Bulls, Michael Jordan. You know, my family used to just watch it every day. So it's like, that's really where I draw a lot of my inspiration, like how I grew up and those stories, because it was like a tumultuous time, you know what I'm saying? More like right now, everything's cool, cameras, cigars, and all this shit. But back then, that's like where I draw a lot of my inspiration. So, so just watching them when I was coming up, it's like their mentality. Every time they get on the court, every time they touch the court, was just, I just want to win. You know, whatever I got to do to win. If I got to foul a nigga hard to get it, that's what we gonna do. Whatever we got to do to win. You know what I'm saying? If I got to talk to you in a disrespectful way to get, you know, get into your head and fuck up your game, then that's what I'm gonna do. So every time I pick up a pad, every time I pick up this pen, you know, I just want to go. I just want to compete with being the best. I'm shooting for top 5, but if I don't make that, then, you know, I'll land somewhere else in a good space. So that's just my mentality. The same mentality they had when I get on the floor. Just go. That's why it ain't even no hook in that shit.
Yeah,
it's like
straight. Yeah.
Exactly. So.
So you a basketball fan?
Yeah, for sure.
So I like to do this thing. I on Cigar Talk, we kind of do the NBA to rapper comparisons, right? Like we always kind of like, who is this person? Who is this person? So I have who I have for you, and I want to know what you think about it. And I'm gonna give you a reason. All right.
Can you give me who else that I can know what's coming?
Yeah. So I gave, who did I give? I gave, last year I gave Big Crit Joe Johnson. I gave, who else did we have? We had Kendrick, we had a Steph Curry. We had, who else? There's a few of them. We gotta look at the list.
That's a dope one.
You know what I'm saying? So we have reasons and everything, but all right. For Nick Grant.
Yo, we gonna fight, yo.
It's about to be on, right? Episode canceled after this. All right. For Nick Grant, I feel like you are like Kemba Walker.
Wow, that's
now,
a good one.
Now, when I say that, when I say Kemba Walker, that's like, Kemba Walker is nice, right?
Nice.
He's one of the top, I'd say he's on that line of top 5 point guards in the game, but he don't really get the credit that he's supposed to get when we're talking about, you know, point guards in the league. But he's out here putting up them numbers.
Absolutely.
He's doing his thing. How you feel about that?
I ain't mad at that at all. Yeah.
All right, cool. Nigga, Kemba Walker, you feeling that?
Absolutely. I love that one.
For sure. All right.
But yeah, I mean, I think people feel like I'm supposed to be in a certain place, not to toot my own horn, but maybe just because they feel like I'm so good. Oh, you're supposed to be up there with the Kendricks and the Coles.
You feel like that?
Absolutely, but I also feel like I'm not exempt from the process of getting to that point. You know, it took these guys multiple projects to sell out arenas to get to where they are now. So it's kind of disrespectful to say, all right, this is my 2nd year. I'm supposed to be here already. Yeah. You know, I feel like I heard Jay-Z say this, a lot of people emulate the end result and not the process. So me, I'm just living in the process and trying to get to those steps to where I can get those badges and be mentioned in that conversation. But for now, like, you know, don't disrespect them because they work for that. Like, allow me to work to that and get to that. Like, don't disrespect me either because, you know, don't, you know, let me prove that to you. Don't disrespect yourself. Like, you know, just let me prove that and let me go through the journey, you know, because that's really what it's about, what it took to get there. Right. Not that end spot, because once you get there, it's nothing to look forward to.
Absolutely. You know, but like even in your career, right, like you've been rapping for a while before we even got to the deal, right?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Before we even got to that point. So
absolutely.
It's a lot of legwork that's
for sure. Like sacrificing a lot, like going out with women and dates and you know, sacrificing, you know, hanging out with your homies, just being out in the street, like just sacrificing so much. I was the only one. Everybody else would be partying. I'll be at home in my basement, just writing. Like that. It take practice to be this good. Like I had to develop that. Like my love was always there, but for me to be good, I had to work at it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just a process.
All right, I like that. Now, so continuing on with the greatness moniker, you got this song Nicki Boomaye. That's like the, you know, Ali Boomaye kind of thing.
Exactly.
And I reckon it was dope, that featuring DJ Khaled.
That's exactly where it came from.
That's major, featuring Khaled. And he gave you this speech at the end. That's my Monday morning speech, the Khaled shit at the end.
That's dope. That's dope. I felt like it should have been a lot of hashtags behind that.
A whole lot. Like, how'd you feel about that just when you heard that, you know, you got the vote? Did the Khaled vocals come in?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm in the house, I'm just watching, you know, Will Smith, You know, the Ali movie.
Yeah.
You know, Thriller in Manila when he's fighting George Foreman. I think that was a fight.
Yeah.
And running down the street, it was Ali Boumaier. I was like, yo, this speaks to my position in the game. You know, just underrated. But I can compete with whoever. If you put me in a room with whoever, I'm gonna out-rap whoever. I just really feel like that.
Yeah.
Like no matter what. So, just my position in the game, I was like, yo, this could be a record. Like taking from that and applying it to my life. That's what I feel like great art does. Like movies, you know, television, music. You're supposed to draw inspiration from that and apply it to your life. So
Absolutely.
that's exactly what I did. And I was like, who better than Khaled, you know?
He was talking that talk.
Spokesperson for hip hop, you know.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that was also his position at one point, you know, just to kind of.
But that's what he said, like, take it from me, don't stop, right?
Exactly. So that spoke to me too. So he's kind of like, who's the guy that Jamie Foxx played, Bundini Brown or something like that? Yeah. So he was like his character on the record, you know, just speaking to me like, or even like a Rocky in a sense.
Right.
With Mickey, you're just talking him through the fight every time.
Right.
So that was kind of dope. So I drew the inspiration from that. Just my position. I want to compete. I want to. Money's cool. Cars, material things are cool, but I want to compete. Like,
so
I want to be
the best
mentioned.
matters to you. That.
Yeah, absolutely. That matters. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. I want to fight. I ain't out here just doing it for free.
Yeah,
but
right. Let them know.
Because people get the love like confused with.
And you supposed to be
how much money?
Broke,
yeah,
man.
you love it. You love it so much you don't mind if I take this money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be like that. That's not why I'm out here. Not saying that happens to me, but just to be clear. Yeah. That's what it's doing. You're an artist. You're not supposed to have this, but nah. But yeah, it's about that, being number one and being able to compete with whoever. Yeah.
All right. I feel that. I like that. All right. So another record that definitely stood out to me on this project, the Black Women.
The Black Woman, yes.
Black Woman record.
Yeah.
Man, so especially just in this time, it's just so important to just build up our sisters.
Absolutely.
And you know, it's a lot of Black girl magic going on.
It's a lot.
You know, you tapped into that. Why was it important for you to kind of reach that spectrum?
Man, that record is like 2 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that record is like 2 years old. I wrote it like 2 years ago. Just my position, like it was a lot of women that raised me. Like I saw the good, the bad, the ugly. That's who put me up on game about all women. My mama tells me all the time, like, you have no excuse because you know what we want. So if your relationship don't work, it's your fault because you know everything. You know, the women always do their job, and that's so true. So, you know, I felt like I took too long to make the record. You know, I felt like I took too long because these were the people that, like I said, was schooling me on the game, was schooling me, was dressing me for school, was like telling me like, the first thing girls look at is your shoes. Always keep a nice pair of shoes. Everything else is, you know, cool. So these were stories that I got, different things that I seen. You know, the bad, I remember like being in the house with, they gonna hate this, but being in the house with my cousin and she's on the phone in somebody else's lap. I gotta go outside and tell the other dude, you know what I'm saying? She ain't in there. Right. And it hurts to do that because like, oh, yo, this dude is giving me money. Throw me $1 every time he see me, so I don't wanna go out here and say nothing, but, you know, but these are experiences that I draw from. These are the experiences that help make these records, you know, because without that, I wouldn't, you know, I feel like I would be.
Where would we be?
Yeah, right? Exactly, you know, exactly. These are the first teachers, you know, of everything and have more empathy than anybody. So that was the purpose of making this record. Like, I needed that. That was like the first one that I wanted to do for this new project. I didn't even have a title for the new project, but I had that record. I felt like that was the start of the meat and potatoes of the album. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do that. Yeah.
Right. All right. So, well, even in speaking about, you know, you spoke openly just about the Black queens in your life.
Absolutely.
But you also spoke about, you know, your dad. That was a big thing, you know, I guess in the records to where I'm hearing, you know, you spoke about domestic violence in the home. You seen that and just, you know, everything that you went through and, you know, you kind of seeing yourself in him, you know, physically as well, right?
Right, for sure. Yeah.
Kind of talk about that.
That's like the first line. Yeah, that was like the first line in the record.
Yeah.
You know, just seeing that reflection every day, and knowing I don't want to be like what you was, but you know, it wasn't always bad. You know, he was like a good dude, like, you know, would be in and out, but when he would come around, it was always like good time. But, you know, it's just our rocky relationship. There's a lot of ups and downs, and the older I grew, the more angry I became because I became more man. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, it was so easy to do what I felt like what should have been done, you know, just looking back. But so we fell out, didn't have, you know, a lot of communication. He became sick and died like 2 months after our altercation.
Did you guys ever get a chance to like?
We never got a chance to like. So there's this phone call that my aunt left me.
Yeah,
so it was like, yo, he passed, and you know, my heart.
How did you feel at that moment?
Yeah, my heart dropped. It was like, damn, I'm never gonna be able to do that. So I would have never spoke about this, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, somebody told me, it's like, yo, these are dope experiences. Like you have some of the like unfortunate experiences, but these experiences, if you share them on wax, you could help somebody, you know what I'm saying? So I remember one day I'm on Instagram, and it's like the request thing where people don't follow you, see that messages? Yeah, exactly. So I'm on there, and this dude is like, yo, thank you for that father figure record. Like, we had an altercation, you know, and we got to clear it up, but I was only able to do that listening to your record.
Wow.
And like, before that, I was like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Right. So that, you know, that was the purpose of the record, and I'm glad it came back that way, you know, it came back to me that way. So, yeah, definitely, man, just seeing different things in my relationship, and, you know, still got an undying love for him, but it's just like, I'm human at the end of the day, too, and that's what I grew to realize, like, all our parents are human.
How did you feel? Because I know there was a line on that record where you said, I guess you feel the long-term effects of everything you dealt with in regards to him.
Yeah.
How is it, I guess, what do you kind of feel like going through that kind of made, you know, how did that shape you? Just
like trust issues, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the #1 thing. Like, if I can't trust you, I can't really trust nobody. Like, I look just like you, I act just like you. Like, who the hell am I gonna trust? You know what I'm saying? So that kind of made it harder. But I got over that. You know, when you grow to learn, like, not everybody's the same. You know what I'm saying? He's not even a bad person. He just had his own thing. Like I said, parents are human too.
Right. We don't look at it like that, right?
You look at them like superheroes when you're younger, but as you get older, you grow to know, like, oh, they got their own issues. Like, you know, it's unfortunate that you couldn't be here for me, but, you know, as I grew, like I said, as I grew older, I became to know that everything isn't about me. You know what I'm saying? Him not being there might have made me a better person. You know, that anger and all that, you know, anguish I might have felt might have fueled me to be the artist that I am, or the better person that I am whenever I have a child, or, you know, being able to school them in a different way and give them what I wasn't able to have.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. That's dope, man. That's
thank
real.
you.
I'm glad we're able to like open up about stuff like that.
That's dope.
That's real shit that's happening
for sure.
in the community.
Every day.
You know what I mean?
Every day. It's unfortunate, but it happens every day. I see kids that go through it all the time, and I speak to them whenever I know somebody's going through that. It's hard to know because people don't just share that. But when you know, you kind of just touch and put your arm around them like, yo, it's going to be all right. You're going to be good.
Right. But you actually kind of touched on the duality of love and hate, right? Like you got the Lincoln Apartments record, right? Where it's just like, you know, you going in on what love is. And
right.
Kind of break that down for me. Like, what do you consider? Because there was so much in there. Like, y'all got to listen to this record if you haven't heard it. But what do you consider, like, just kind of the duality of just the love and the hate? Like,
so the premise of the record is basically like, if you look at the sequence, that comes on right after Father Figure. Yeah. So after he left.
And then the funeral, right?
The funeral was at the end of the Lincoln Apartment. So, you know, the funeral just basically symbolized. That was at the end of Father Figure. I'm sorry. Yeah, it basically symbolized him dying and a piece of me dying as well, because, you know, somebody that was supposed to be my hero died. Right. You know, so if you look at the sequence, Lincoln Apartment comes on like right after that. So when you left my life as a child, you left the neighborhood, which was Lincoln Apartments, to raise me. So all this stuff that was going on in the neighborhood had to raise me. So I had this love-hate relationship with what was going on in my you know, neighborhood, and I also had a love-hate relationship with my father as I was growing up. So that song kind of just symbolized that in, you know, 2 verses.
Right.
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So how do you, what was it like when you say neighborhood? Are we talking about like South Carolina?
Yeah, South Carolina, yeah. I didn't move to Atlanta until I was 14, but South Carolina for sure. Yep.
All right, I used to be in South Carolina, down in them dirt roads in Charleston. You know what I'm saying?
So country, man.
Right.
So country, but a lot of love.
Right. A lot of love that. All right, that's fire.
Oh yeah.
All right, so now I gotta get the scoop, right? You, Nick Grant, you were on tour with Lauryn Hill and Nas. Man.
Yeah, that's a trophy. That needs a trophy.
Dog, I gotta drink that, man. Come on. Now, Lauryn and Nas.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit. Like, first of all, we just spoke about Black Queens. Lauryn is the epitome of that.
Absolutely. Even better person. Even better in person.
What'd you kind of get from the whole experience?
Man, Like,
I know it's hard to sum up, but
it's a lot. It's a lot, because I was just like starstruck a lot of nights just seeing them like perform records that, you know, raised a generation. I had this story, like, I wanted to tell it so bad, like when my cousin died, I watched my cousin die like right in front of me. So I remember not having cable, just being depressed, because he was like my best friend at the time. I would pop in the Sister Act shit, like, and just watch it on repeat, you know, because it put me in a good mood. So just that movie, like the whole tour, I was thinking about that movie and that experience. So that shit is just like real, like how certain shit can change your life and just take you back like so quick. So just seeing her and like performing those records was like, man, I wish I can go back to that time, you know. So not only that, for her to say like, oh, you dope, you know.
But she showed you a lot of love.
A lot of love, like, you know, just watching her perform, that's really what I got from her. Just a lot of knowledge, you know. Just a lot of stuff, man. It was so much, just so much. Nas, you know, I had more interaction with him because there was a lot of shows outside of the tour, you know, that we did, and we just connected, you know. I remember him one night, we was in Arizona, I'll never forget this. It's like, shout out Nick Graham, he's like one of the dopest MCs right now. And that's like, everybody was like, yo, that's supposed to happen. I'm like, yo, that ain't supposed to happen. Like, this is only my second year in this shit, like, already, but it was dope, you know, and him saying like, yo, I want to be a part of whatever you're doing. So, yeah, like, special, man, special.
That's amazing,
special.
Man. Were you able to kind of like have those type of conversations with Nas? Because it's important to, you know, have somebody who lived the path that you lived, right? Like, it's kind of going through and.
Absolutely. I remember like being on tour before the actual tour started, and that was like the real first time I met him. Like, it was like formal or whatever. So I remember sitting down and just talking about life and just different things in general, and, you know, just the culture, man, and just to have those conversations and see where his head is at and what he thinks. And it's like, you couldn't pay for that, you know. I was upset about something that day, like, how does this person get this? And I'm not one of those people like to say what.
Kind of comparing. And,
like who deserves what. And then I had dinner with him. I was like, yo, I guarantee the person that I'm upset about, or the people that I'm upset about, isn't sitting down with Nas, having a conversation with Nas, or even trying to gear up to go on tour with him, you know. And I'm not even that person. I just get like so emotional about hip hop, you know. You know how it is, but it was great. The greatest experiences to date, you know what I'm saying, as far as like my music career goes. I feel like that set it up to be like, all right, we gotta watch him now. He's on tour with who? You know what I mean?
That's amazing. Did the show start on time? It's Lauren and Nas.
They started on time. They started on time. Yeah, we ain't see none of that. Like, no late dates or nothing. And they were amazing. Yeah.
All right, so another person I seen you kind of, you know, linking up with is Royce the 5'9", man.
Oh yeah.
Royce.
For sure.
That's some heavy spitters right there, man. Like, how was that interaction with you and Royce?
One of my earliest shows were in Atlanta, and I remember like us talking, like, said Nick Grant is dope, like, on Twitter. And, you know, I told him, like, yo, I've been watching you since, like, Bar Exam. Like, you kind of schooled me on, like, when Bar Exam first started, I was the guy, like, man, you gotta listen to Royce. Like, who? Royce? Like, you don't know Royce? Like, you ain't no hip hop fan. I get mad at me. I would get in fist fights, arguments about Royce. You know, and, you know, he said he was like a fan of my stuff. You know, I was like, whoa. Like, yo, then he FaceTimed me, like, yo, we gotta do a record. Here go the beat, send it back to me. And he, you know, I was doing something at the time. I was like just running around trying to get my own shit done. He was FaceTime me again, like, yo, we gotta get this done. Like, come on. Got it done. And he was send it back. He was like, yo, it's dope. That was the and it was a Bar Exam mixtape. That was the last Bar Exam. So that meant so much. Full circle, exactly. So just saw him, ran into him again, like over the time. You know, he became like a mentor of mine, just teaching me about the game. And I'm actually about to go to Detroit when I find time just to work with him. You know, and he's like, yo, whenever, I just stop what I'm doing.
Yeah, you gotta hear that.
Hell yeah. You know, I feel like he's gonna make me a better MC. You know,
All right. So like I said, we definitely enjoyed this project, man.
Thank you, man.
Dreamin' Out Loud.
Thank you.
And, you know, I was fortunate enough to go to your first listening in New York City when you came. We was at Mr. Lee's with the jerk chicken and all that.
Yeah, it was dope.
And it's good to just see full circle. How does, I guess, Nick Grant kind of continue to level up from here?
just have that same hunger and that same love for the culture and, you know, do different things. I feel like I've been doing a great job at, you know, just being myself. I got to dig a little deeper, give people a little more, give people the chance to get to know who I am. And that's like the hardest part for me. Like rhyming is easy. I feel like that's,
you do that.
that's what I do. Thank you. But just being more personal and just being like more of a like spokesperson for the people that don't have a voice. You know what I'm saying? And I'm human too, you know. That's gonna take some time, just like the journey to get to where the artist you compare me to is gonna take time. But yeah, I just gotta keep my skills sharp, and I'll be there one day.
I feel like, so we, again, last thing we talked about, you know, just greatness and bars, and obviously we seen Drake and Pusha going at it. That's been the whole big media frenzy. Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
What you felt about the whole situation? Like,
I love
you felt
it.
like it was a winner in that situation? Like, what you felt like?
Oh man, I'm thinking it's gonna be more, right?
I hope so.
I'm just watching the show. It's dope. It's dope though. It's like, I feel like it's good for hip hop, but I feel like it's you know, negative in a little way too, because like it's like, you know, you can stop somebody from getting their money, then families get involved, mamas get involved, wives get involved. You know, it's dope for hip hop, and as a fan, I love it, but I don't want to see that. Like, I want to see everybody get money. I want to see everybody prosper. I want to see everybody, you know, just win, succeed. Like, I want to hear a record with both of them. You know what I mean?
Right, so for you, as somebody who has, you know, high level bars, and if somebody ever came at your neck, how you feel about?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah.
Is you gonna jump out the window like barring off, or is it?
You would never hear me like start anything with anybody. You know, that's just not who I am. But I'm definitely gonna defend myself, and you're gonna wish you didn't start with me.
Right.
For sure. Yeah. So that's just my thing. Like, I remember KRS saying like a long time ago in this interview, he's like, I got a verse for everybody in top 10. Yeah. So ever since then, I was like, yo, why I ain't doing that? I gotta have that. Absolutely. I've been doing that ever since I heard him say that.
Ooh.
Just to stay sharp.
Just a couple missiles.
Just in case. Just in case. Just in case, because you don't want to be caught off guard. You know what I mean? You don't want to be caught off guard.
Are these people that you fuck with, or just people that
I love everybody. People that I respect, you know what I'm saying? I only feel like I'm going to only compete with people that I respect, you know what I'm saying? If I feel like I got more going on than you, I'm going to look at it funny, like, oh, you just trying to come up off me.
Right, clout chasing.
But nah, exactly. But, you know, if I respect you, I'm going, you know, we going to get busy.
He ready.
We going to get busy.
It's balls on deck.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. But, yeah. Because, you know, I feel like people look at me like, oh, he's the child that gets everything because, you know, these people he's surrounded himself with.
Does that bother you?
Nah, I feel like to even have those people around you, you have to be good. Yeah, it's like they say that, but they don't say this side of it. Like, he's not whack though.
So they ain't never gonna say that, right?
Yeah. So that's what I look at too. So. Yeah.
I like that. My man, listen, yo, Nick, I appreciate you pulling up,
man.
My brother.
Great questions. Dope interview.
Hey, thank you, man. Yo, this is Najee, Cigar Talk. We got another dope one. My man, Nick Grant came to pull up.
Dope.
Hey, Dreamin' Out Loud. Make sure y'all go get that.
Out right now. Go get it.